Are you looking for a way to create dynamic data sources to power your Liftoff sites? If you'd like to learn how to create blogs, develop digital asset management tools, and add extreme power to your web-to-print workflow, this series is for you. Alright, welcome to this tutorial. This is video 1 of 5, and just to preface, this video is really more of an overview than it is a tutorial. In this video, we're going to talk about what records are and a few use cases for them and how you might use them within the context of a Liftoff site or application. So the first thing to note is that records, you can classify them as a database in the cloud. But it's not just storage of text and numbers, but records can store things like images and files, and they can actually link to other records. So you can create a relational database in the cloud that you can call up in other areas of the platform, such as your web to print. You can create a digital asset library. There's a lot of different uses for it, and even internally we keep coming up with a lot of different ways that records can really innovate and drive unique functionality within a particular application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a quick tour of some of the possible ways that you might use records, and then we'll set one up ourselves just so you can see what it's like. So the first example is on this label website. Here's a blog, right? No surprise, this is really easy to do. This is data that simply repeats itself in a repeater. The other may be a digital asset management system. So in this particular case, we're storing images for download. So let's say we wanted to create a repository or a place that people can go and grab those images. We maybe want to take that a step further and incorporate the images or assets from records into a web print workflow. So here's an example. Let's say we take this photo here and we even use it in conjunction with one of our cropping tools. So we'll take that and we'll get this guy working out. And the end result is he will show up here on our marketing piece. And it's really that easy. I mean, it's a very powerful tool, and there's still so much more than what I just showed you that you can do with it. So to get us started, what I'm going to do is we're going to take you through the creation of a record type so you can get an idea of what it looks like when you create a record. So we're going to go ahead and create add record type. We'll call this one test blog 2020. All right, we'll find something unique. Okay, so when you think of a blog, there's a potential number of fields that you can think of, the kind of data you want to collect, maybe like the title, the subject, the author, the date. And so we'll go ahead and call the first field title and make that nice and easy. The next one we'll create date time. Maybe this is published date. And I could go ahead and point out there are some other things that you can do here. You can require the fields. So if you're extending these fields for user entry or data entry and you want to make sure that the person filling out the information isn't missing a step, you can add help text and other things. There's a lot of power here too that we can cover. Right, maybe we want to create an image for it. We'll actually call this one banner. And we'll just point this to our images directory within our Liftoff site. Liftoff will go ahead and take care of everything else. Okay, and then maybe the last thing we do, we create a nice HTML box, which will give us an opportunity to create formatted, rich text that can be used in a blog. So if you're, you're applying styling, things of that nature, it can contain all of that. And so we'll just call this body. Easy enough. All right, so we've got a quick little 4-column table here, but it's enough to really comprise what you would expect to see in a blog. So we're going to click done, and now what we want to do, we actually want to create some records in there. So here's test blog 2020 that we just created. So I'm going to hit add, and we'll just type some article names in here. We'll throw some images in and just show you what it's like to actually add data to a record. So we'll say, Happy New Year 2020. We'll backdate this one to January 1st as our published date. And then we'll add a banner in here. So let's find something cool here. Why not the Launchpad logo? That'll work. All right, and here we can say, hello world. And just like that, we have a record we can use. I'm gonna go ahead and expose a couple of the other fields just so it's a little bit more readable on the record list. Now I have to call this out. You can import records here. So let's say you have a lot of data in a spreadsheet. You don't have a whole lot of time to type all that in or deal with that. You can take a spreadsheet. You can fill it out based on the column values that you see here. And then you can simply upload that straight into Liftoff, and it makes the process ridiculously easy to do. But for this particular case, we won't do that. So it's really up to you what your records look like and how you implement them. So in our next tutorial, we're going to talk a little bit about how you implement records within the context of a page in Liftoff. And that's really it for this video. We hope you found it informative, and we'll see you in the next video.